Assalamu alaikum Sayyidi.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Maulana, for a person who feels like they've wasted so much time and now feel regret, how can they rebuild quickly in the little time they feel they have left? Is there a spiritual emergency plan for them to catch up before the flood overtakes them?
Well, everybody comes at the time in which Allah has written for them, so nobody can come any sooner or any later. Whatever Allah has written, the servant shows up and has to apply. But the problem is when we're guided, it's what we're going to do with the guidance that's important. Not worry about the time that I wasn't in the class. But now that I got into the class, what do I do at that time is where you have to worry. Because shaitan will make you think in the past and make you think about the future. But what you really lost was right there, the present. So remember, this is the trick of shaitan, that you're in a holy way and he doesn't want you to achieve that moment and its understanding. So make you focus about the past, all the things you lost. Then what happened? You lost that moment. Then make you worry about all the things that are coming and how are you going to achieve them, and again you lost the moment. So the past is nothing that we can do, it's already been written, and the future hasn't yet occurred, that's not your business. But live for right now. So I wake up in the morning, right now I have to live a life of service, and that day should be the most service that I can provide. And I live a life of khidmat, I live a life of service, I live a life of propagating, doing what I can. And then alhamdulillah, next day same thing. And they live their life to their fullest. And when you busy yourself for the heavens will busy themselves for you. So what we talked tonight with the gentleman, and Mawlana Shaykh taught the same thing. Let's say for example, become very primitive if we go outside of technologies and all of this. Let's go to the most basic. I want to build a little house for myself, and my nafs is telling me, build the house for myself. Then I'm saying to myself, maybe I want to build also a masjid for Allah because I have this skill and I have these tools. Nafs says, well, build for yourself the house. Your soul says, build the masjid for Allah. But then which one is correct? And if there's 3 or 4 of you trying to live a life of service, if everybody builds their house, there will be no masjid for Allah. And this is the beguiling and the trickery of shaitan. But if they listen to the shaykhs and say, build the house for Allah first, most important. And in the process of building the house for Allah, Allah will build your house for you. Means will facilitate your ability, your knowledges, your understanding, so that when you've done that you're an expert and He'll send the support, the help and the ability to build your home. Same with everything. If you got a technology but you want to first build it for you, it'll never be done for Allah. But you say, no, what I have and what I know and my ability has to be done for Allah first. Once you did it for Allah, well, go make an empire for yourself out of it, not a problem. But you did what you can for your Lord. This is the way of the shaykhs, this is the way of the tariqah, and this is the way of a life of service. With that we should find contentment, a happiness, that ability I have, I did it first in the way of the heavens, and then I took care of everything else, and everything else will all fall into place. Same with family. If I focus on my path and my reality, Allah will focus on my family. If I focus on the family, then I lost my path. And they're not going to have anything to do with me anyways in 20 years because you don't have a path. But when you have a strong path, no matter what happens, Allah sends faith into their heart to follow you because you're strong on your path. This is the miracle of the Divine. But when I stop and say, no, I got to do this, what are you going to do for them? You fed them, they went to school, what else you want to do with them? You have nothing to offer them if it's not faith. And if you spent, I spent now 15, 20 years with them, I didn't do the things I was supposed to do on my path. You become irrelevant to them in 20 years, so what are you going to do for us? And you can't deposit faith into somebody's heart, then you say, that 30 years my kids are not believing anymore. But if you spent your whole life with Allah, no matter what the test is, Allah deposits faith into their heart. And that was then the life of submission and service. We run towards that direction and leave the rest to Allah's hands. and Allah puts faith in the hearts of whom He wants, and He makes the people to be servants of His Divine Presence, because Allah is the one calling us. We're not calling Allah. We call the azan, and Allah also reminds us that when you call the azan, say, La hawla wa la quwwata, you have no help and no power from you. So you're not really calling me, I'm calling you. My love calls you to call me. And this becomes the depth of faith, the depth of our reality, the depth of our weakness. That if not Allah calling me, there's no way I'm going to even get up to pray. So our lives will always run towards Allah and His Rasul, and the rest they'll put into place and put everything and arrange our entire lives, inshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammad al Mustafa bi sirri Surat al Fatiha. Ya Rasul Kareem. Ameen.